For the debate, the member for Guelph.
It's an honour to rise today to speak on this motion to declare a climate emergency, and I would like to thank all the people in the galleries today who are demanding action. Last fall, after the devastating IPCC report on the climate crisis, I moved a motion for an emergency debate on the climate crisis, and unfortunately the government blocked that motion. And since that time, they've dismantled Ontario's climate action plans. They've even gone so far as to take the word climate change out of the ministry title. In their latest growth plan proposal, they've taken the word climate change out. Does the government not understand the connection between climate change, urban sprawl, sustainable cities? I don't think they understand the urgency of the crisis that we face. So I hope today's debate, and I want to thank the members for bringing it forward, gives the government an opportunity to finally demonstrate that they understand the severity of what is happening around the world and right here in Ontario. Better late than never. It is clear that we are facing a climate emergency, and the financial costs of that emergency are escalating. The toll on human life, other species and communities is growing. Extreme flooding across Canada and right here in Ontario is abundantly clear. Canada is warming at twice the global rate, and if business as usual stays, we'll be at 6.5 degrees Celsius by the end of the century, leaving our grandchildren a very, very different world. Last year, and I want to put this in terms that I hope the government can understand, last year, severe weather cost the people in this province $1.3 billion in insurable losses. On a single day, August 7, 2018, Toronto had $80 million worth of damages in 3 hours. From 2010 to 2015, the federal government spent more money on large-scale disaster relief than they did the prior 39 years combined. If we continue on this path, climate change will cost us $91 billion a year by mid-century. In fact, right now, economists estimate that it's costing us $2,000 trillion right now. Those numbers, Speaker, are so staggering they're almost incomprehensible. But thanks to Ontario's Environment Commission, we have an understanding of how much it is. $350 per household in the first 6 months of last year alone. So I'm hoping the Auditor General can update those numbers. And yet the Premier is wasting our tax dollars sabotaging climate solutions. And I know the ministers talked about their plan, but I've yet to hear a single independent analyst say that their plan has any hope of meeting our climate obligations. The only good thing I've heard about their plan is there's some adaptation measures in there, but then the government in their budget cuts flood prevention in half, cuts the tree planting program. They're now dismantling environmental protections that help us to adapt to climate change. So it doesn't even seem that they understand the emergency and the urgency of adapting. Our failure to act, in my opinion, is completely fiscally irresponsible. How can any government subject us to those kinds of costs? But more importantly, Speaker, failure to act is failing our children, our grandchildren, our nieces, and our nephews. And so we must act. And so my message to the members opposite, if you're not going to vote for this motion, if you're not going to support low-cost solutions like carbon pricing, if you're not going to put forward a credible plan, then would you at least agree to an all-party select committee to study solutions and report back to the House before the end of the summer, so we can start developing a broad consensus on the actions that need to happen, because the people of Ontario, Speaker, are problem solvers. They are not problem deniers. And this government's actions don't fully recognize that the people of Ontario are ready to solve this crisis, they are ready to act, and they are ready to act now.